Well, Stefan had mentioned that we have special guest stars on this episode, and with me is Precious Ashama. Now, Precious, you are a recent graduate of the WPP Creative Tech Apprenticeship.
Yep.
And with you is, I think, the professor, what would you call you are, the director of this program, Kat Sullivan, who is not only a senior director of interaction design for WPP, but also pretty cool, I think. I feel like your look, your whole being is cool.
Oh, thanks, Rob.
Do you think we should get more branding for Screaming Creativity in here, ladies?
I love it. I think it's great.
I think we nailed it a bit. Yeah, it's just in my head and eyebrows everywhere.
I think it's fantastic.
Well, thanks for joining me. And Stefan talks so much about AI and just the program itself. So I said, well, let's have the people who really are behind it. So maybe, Kat, talk a little bit about yourself and then how you really spearheaded this program.
So I came into technology in a very untraditional way. I got approached to join computer science because there was no women in high school taking computer science. It was pretty fun. I liked it by chance. Kept pursuing it.
And where was this? Where about?
This was in East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, tiny town. And
Red Sox fans?
Oh, born and raised.
Oh, okay. Well, end the podcast there. It's like Arsenal and Man United, Red Sox, Yankees.
It's been 3 minutes. We were doing so well. Yeah. All right. So other than your terrible choice in baseball teams.
27.
So I kept pursuing both dance and computer science together, and there was just a lot of resistance from people when they found out that I wanted to do both at the same time, which I thought was insane. And I wound up working in creative tech, which meant I was able to fuse my love of dance and engineering together. And then,
I mean, you don't get that a lot. Dance and engineering. I don't feel like that's...
See, this is the resistance.
This is why it's so... No, in a good way. I think it's amazing because you never think someone has like such an artistic background then says, I want to be an engineer. But I feel like you've used it.
That's what's beautiful. And when Perry called and, one of the first things we talked about was starting a school for creative technologists. And I'm like, I think there are so many artists out there who feel that technology has tons of gatekeeping through vocabulary, through just the culture of if you weren't building computers in your room at 12, this isn't for you. I was like, what if we had a program where we didn't ask for any of that? I bet there's some amazing artists we could find.
Well, one of those artists is here, Precious. Why don't you tell us that? Now, you're also now working at Hogarth, too, as an experienced creative. So tell us your story.
Yeah, so my background was more healthcare based. So I grew up around a lot of nurses and doctors. And just because of that, I kind of went into having a plan A of being in the health industry as a radiographer.
Yeah.
I always knew that I wanted to do something to do with technology and design because that was my passion that I've always had from such a young age. But because I wasn't exposed to that industry at that time, I just went to do clinical technology, which was both the technology side and the healthcare side brought together. And I graduated in uni, which I was quite happy with, although it wasn't what I wanted to do. So then I just kind of found myself entering the apprenticeship, which is a whole nother story, which I'll tell you soon.
Yeah.
That's how I ended up here today, literally.
You come from the healthcare. I mean, I look at myself and say, I look like I'm in trouble right now. This whole look, you have to fix it for me. But seriously, you found WPP. How did we find you? Because I think that's the most important thing. I mean, there's so many great artists, to your point, that are out there, and there's just not enough great people from diverse backgrounds inside of advertising and marketing and technology. So this program started with were you like, who's WPP?
Yes, so it's actually amazing how it happened. So 3 months after I graduated uni, WPP held a tech event in August 2022. When I went there, I was networking with people, asking them questions. I knew I didn't want to go into healthcare. I was quite certain. So I knew I had to find another entry into technology because I knew technology is what I wanted to do. So I spoke to a lady and she referred me to Kat. I told her that I wanted to do CAD. I have a background in electronics, product design, things what I was interested into and developing. I ended up speaking to Kat, and Kat showed me the PowerPoint and introduced me to the program. And I said, this program has every single thing that I wanted. And it was just like a door opening for me because I had never come across the program that checked off everything on my list, number one, and that exposed me to things I wanted to do because it wasn't as popular where I was coming from. Like, there was no one to ask, oh, do you know anyone in this industry? Because it wasn't as popular at the time. So when I met Kat, I was just like, am I dreaming?
Yeah.
Like, is this real? Because it literally covered every single topic that I wanted to do. So that's how I came across the apprenticeship, and I applied with all my heart. I said, I have to get in. I sent in my best work. I put on like all my best performances and just made sure I got into the apprenticeship.
Well, it's such a great story, and it's such a great thing to hear. We want other people out there who might be listening to be inspired by your story and inspired by you helping to create this program, which doesn't exist. And obviously, Mark and Joanne and Andrew, people who make decisions on, and Richard, who make decisions on budget, and Stefan, where it goes to put it towards this program. Yes, it benefits us because we get great, talented people, but it's not always easy to do. So was this embraced by everybody, your idea to do this, or your team's idea to do this?
I feel so fortunate that Perry called, and I think Stefan already said this, Perry just has such a vision, and he knew this was going to work.
I feel we've talked about Perry, but I feel guilty for not having Perry on. I apologize, Perry, if you're watching. He's got a robotic dog, I believe.
He does. Spot.
So, we're gonna get Spot, you and Spot on as part of a...
Just Spot.
Just Spot. No, that'd be
They're both pretty amazing.
Don't worry. By the way, we edit most of me out, so don't worry about it. So, I ramble on. So.
But he had such a clear vision for this, and we just took a chance. We decided we were going to build the school and that the talent was going to speak for itself, the work was going to speak for itself. And once people discovered really what we had done, which was start a school in the basement, and they saw the level of effort and work and talent, it's a hard thing to not get excited about.
Yeah, I mean, bands start in a basement. I love that, schools now, or technology schools are
Technology
starting in a
schools
basement,
that started in a basement.
So what are the kind of things you're working on right now? You're working at Hogarth?
Yeah, so I'm working on a lot of like generative AI projects, a lot of workshops in terms of using Midjourney, using those to help companies orchestrate like different how to use it in their brands and how to prompt correctly, because there's different ways of prompting.
What's the correct way to prompt and an incorrect way to prompt? I feel like I'm a pretty good prompter myself, but I'd love to hear how the kids are doing it. Since,
well, you have to be very good in describing what you want to see, very detailed. And I think because I have a little bit of knowledge in production, knowing those certain keywords, so researching keywords that they use in production, putting them into the prompts. For example, the type of lens you want, the type of style you want, inspired by, those kinds of language, using AR to describe how wide or you want the frame to be. AR as in aspect ratio, not augmented reality. Using that to prompt correctly, not just putting in a lot of words and then not getting the results you want. So it's kind of just studying the language and how to work around it.
Yeah, I love that we're doing the school and this apprenticeship. We're also part of the one school here in the UK, and it's really important to find just new creators from all types of areas of creativity. You're in this program, you're running it, but you also have a day job. What's the most exciting part of the day job for you? And maybe tell people what you do.
The most exciting part of my day job, outside of the apprenticeship. I don't understand the question. What is the most
exciting part? Because I think it's important because we have yet to really start attracting, I think, the best of the best. I think we have a lot of great people, but I want to get people to understand this is a career for people that maybe had thought this isn't.
Thinking about that.
Because what did you do before? What did you do before WPP?
What did I do before about WPP? So before WPP, as Stefan said, I was teaching at New York University and living in New York, and I had a tech art practice. So I was working with theater groups and doing projection mapping. I was working with dance companies and doing motion capture. I had a piece where my friends and I, we would call ourselves dancing cyborgs and wear exoskeleton suits and
We're going to find the video of the dancing cyborgs. I feel like
I love this video. I'm very proud of that work.
Can you get it? Can we play it if you don't mind?
It's on video, yeah.
Signed off by your friends.
It was really lovely. It was this really beautiful chapter in my life. And I think approaching technology as an artist, I think approaching technology with more questions than answers is something that a lot of people that aren't in tech think isn't allowed, because you have to know all the answers in tech and you have to know all of these words that get thrown around constantly and the vocabulary we use to keep people out. I truly think my passion, the reason I'm here, is to encourage people who think this isn't for me because of X, Y, Z. Like, no, you're amazing at this. You're an incredible coder, or you're an incredible digital artist, or you're amazing at 3D or augmented reality or virtual production. And because I just have watched for so long, so many people feel that that wasn't a space for them, because it was filled with everyone that said if you didn't, build your own computers at the age of 12, or you don't have 10,000 points on Stack Overflow.
Did you build your own computer at the age of 12? Oh, okay.
I showed up to computer science and I got laughed at because they had a thumb drive and I had no idea where to put it, because this was a long time ago.
When I started, it was floppy disks. It was quite a thing. So just dating myself back then, floppy disks. But listen, we're psyched that you joined us. And things like AI, how does it apply to beyond just maybe the creative department, like in media and production? Let's talk a little bit about maybe how you see like our media being sort of transformed, if you have that answer. I don't know, I'm throwing a new question at you, so feel free to don't answer.
No, I like this question a lot. I think what's so exciting about generative AI and why there's been booms in AI, right? Yeah. AI is not new. We've had it for over 50 years. You think about TensorFlow, which was a huge, huge uptick in AI in maybe like 2015, 2016. You had to have a pretty decent knowledge of Python to get anything cool out of that.
We'll explain all these things to the audience later. Don't worry. Python, no idea what Python is. Just so we're clear, no idea what Python is.
Cool. With other bumps in artificial intelligence, there was a lot of prerequisites. You needed to have a good understanding of coding, of programming, and with generative AI, you can just go to a website and it works. It's amazing. But the problem is you have to go to that website. I think what's going to be so exciting in media is how it can be integrated into the systems we go to every day. And so it's not this external thing of, oh, I'm going to go over here and have the generative AI.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fluid and seamless part of your day. And we're already tapping into that. And I think the continuation of that is where the future of artificial intelligence is.
Yeah, I think we have the most creative media companies, in the world, and so many creative people working inside our media companies. So it's great to hear that you're embracing how to bring it even further to our media companies. Precious, what else do you do with you're working here at Hogarth, you're a graduate of the program. What else do you do that makes you feel like you're one of the most creative people here at WPP? I'm giving you that title.
I would say that one of the most impressive things that I've done is my virtual production project. That was amazing. So we started off using our AR skills, like creating our own characters. And what we did was I created a character that was similar to myself. I was able to develop a character and who looked like me and did what I wanted to do, personalized it to myself. And using that character, I was able to give it the ability to navigate, telling people where to go. It's sort of like Google Maps, but more personalized to yourself, giving people the opportunity to create characters like themselves. So within that character, we all then went to a virtual production studio, and we was able to bring that to life, to tell a story behind that. And I feel like that was one of the most amazing things that this apprenticeship has done, is given me the opportunity to develop or engineer, because there was a lot of coding behind it as well, engineer a software that is a character that you can use that relates to yourself and other people can do that can relate to themselves. So developing that using AR, AI and virtual production to relate to an individual was one of the most amazing projects that we've done in the apprenticeship, because it's not seen and it hasn't really been done before. And I think that was really amazing for me. I do a lot of coding as well, thanks to this amazing lady.
Coding on the weekends for fun, or just coding?
Do you know what? At first it started off not as fun, but then it got really fun, and I found myself doing it on the weekends and outside of work, So I came into the apprenticeship knowing nothing about coding, not one thing. But during the first month, I was managed to pick it up very well. And till today, we still use it. And it's a lot easier to learn different languages because our lovely Kat has taught us.
Yeah.
she's done an amazing job, because I don't know if it's easy to teach me, but I managed to see it through, and I'm really good at coding. That's what Python is a code.
Thank you.
language.
Thanks, Precious. No, that's cool. I already feel ancient. But I love your story, and I love that you're working with us and want to stay with us, and we hope you're going to keep killing it for us.
Yeah.
And Kat, listen, we're going to end it with you. You're super awesome and super dope, as Dave Rolfe would say. What's the advice you have for someone like Precious, who's maybe out there listening or seeing some of the work we're doing at WPP, and it's like, hey, how do I get in this? Or what would advice you'd want to give yourself when you were younger?
I think for someone out there that wants to get into creative tech, there are so many tools that are free to download. Blender is free to download. If you are fortunate enough to have a computer with a lot of space, you can download a game engine like Unity or Unreal. A lot of these programming languages are completely free to start, and YouTube is this incredible, incredible platform where...
Good partner of ours.
Great partner. The reason
Great partner, you're right. I said good. I'm going to get in trouble.
The reason I have a job at WPP
Incredible partner.
is YouTube.
Best partner ever.
And there are just a plethora of tutorials, and I think a lot of people just try and think, oh, I need to learn the software. And I'd say, come up with an idea and then try and make it. And it's not going to be great the first time, but just try and make it. I think that's the best way to learn these things.
Well, you're great the first time, and I get to meet you in person because I've seen you on the video. And Precious, you're great too, and I want to thank you guys.
And you got an American.
Yeah, I got a South African American Londoner.
Yeah, Londoner.
Yeah,
Proper. We got one. Proper
Londoner.
Londoner.
So thank you guys so much.
Thank
And,
you.
we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Screaming Creativity is produced by WPP at Hogarth and edited by Rob C. Ward at BCW.